A very warm welcome. We thank you for watching S24 TV. My name is Yvonne Juna, and let's see what we have for smart updates. Now, Uganda Revenue Authority will start to collect rental tax come 2018-2019. Our reporter has more.
A silent stampede looms in Kampala and its neighboring Wakiso and Mukono districts over a decision by the country's tax collector, Uganda Revenue Authority, to enforce the collection of rental tax. The 2018-2019 budget framework paper shows that the taxman expects 120 billion shillings, up from 72 billion collected in the preceding year. The new tax is likely to rail tenants against their landlords. The Income Tax Act 2018 requires landlords to declare revenue from their rentable premises and remit at least 20% of the same to URA, but enforcement of the same has been less pronounced. URA embarked on a countrywide exercise early this year to register all landlords, mark and number their premises, an exercise preceding the evaluation of the property to establish rentable taxes payable by the landlords. Already, a joint exercise by URA and Kampala Capital City Authority has covered a greater part of Kampala City, sending landlords into discomfort. There is already controversy over the marking of premises and evaluation of the same.
Okubera nti tebasobodde balandlord kulaba nti basobola okusasula ssente ezisobozibwa KCC. Ekikolwa ekyo tetuli ngafa abakulembeze abamu nti tuli mabega w'abantu okujeema okusasula ssente ezo. Ogwo omusolo gwe gutuyamba okusobola okulaba nti tutambuza ebintu mu bitundu byaffe ng'okukola enguudo, amalwaliro, biki n'ebirala ng'ebyo. Engeri ekwatibwamu abantu ababa bazze y'embeera etali nnungamu bulungi nti omuntu ng'oyo bw'oba ozze oba tugeze nti nno ng'abangi b'omusolo ogwo taba mujeemu naye embeera gy'oggiddemu n'engeri approach gy'oba omu-approachingyemu nga mumusaba ssente ezo nti ebiseera ebisinga ffe nga ffe abakulembeze bye tufunyeemu okusoomoozebwa n'abo abantu nti abantu ababa bazze okukwata omusolo ogwo tebawuliriza abantu kuba abantu ng'abo babasanga nga balina embeera gye bayitamu ng'erangwa abantu bonna naye obuzibu obulwo nti bo tebabawuliriza biki bye boogera buzibu ki badde bayiseemu nangeri gye basobola okukwataganamu okulaba nti ogwo omusolo gusobola okusasulwa mu bbanga eritali lyawala nnyo.
Emisolo mingi giteekebwa ku bantu ne batamanya nti muntu ki ali supposed okubeera ng'awa omusolo na muntu ki atalina kubeera ng'awa omusolo. Kati otunulira omusolo guno ogwa ground tax oba ogwa rental tax, musolo tegulina makulu era tegugasa bantu mu perspective nti osanga nti mulimu abantu ng'alina akayumba katini ne bajja ne bagateekako omusolo nga n'obusente obuvaamu buwafiziza abaana be. Nosanga nga n'omuntu alina ennyumba ennene, apartments ennene nga bano basudiru bano ba BMK nga balina amayumba manene nabo ne babateekako omusolo gwe gumu. So omusolo guno baguleeta mu mbeera nga yakunyigiriza bujigiriza muntu wa wansi nga tewali mbeera gyagenda kubeera nga ganyulamu kuba kati emisolo giweebwa naye ogenda okwesanga amakubo mu Kampala mwennyini mu Wakiso nga makubo si makole. Waliwo oluguudo luli ku Mubaraka wansi eri si lukole, luva ku Mubaraka lugenda e Katwe noyambuka nodda eri wansi ekkonge mu Kirombe si lukole. Waliwo enguudo luno oluva wane Masajja ku kisaawe okudda eri Busaabala si lukole. Naye ng'abantu bawa emisolo gyegimu gino gye baleese gye bapaatika ku bantu. Ebyo tusaba gavumenti ebeere ng'etusizamu baleete emisolo abantu babeere nga bagifunamu so si kubeera nga bakkako omusolo gwe batagenda kubeera nga bafunamu.
Bebeere nga etugerekera omusolo gwe tunaasobola okubeera nga tugusasula. Tuleme okubeera nga tutuuka ku mbeera eya neighbor wange kubeera nti baggadde ebizimbe bye. Tebabiggadde lwa kubeera nti oba tasobola kukola ki oba yajeemedde gavumenti wabula omusolo bamugerekera omusolo nga muki kulabika nga mungi.
Kati obuzibu balina okubanyala nnyo kati batemira okukwatira bindigiriza kati oli yaliwo ffe tuli wano tulyabete singa okukosebwa kati batukosebwa nnyo kati yeranjiro ati batemukwata kati yabage alina okuligiriza ffe okulaba ng'akola ki afunamu ezimusoso ezisasule.
Yes, this year we've had a lot of effort in educating the public about rental tax. and of course there are issues between rental tax and ground rent. First and foremost, URA is only responsible for collecting of rental tax as an income tax. Rental tax is paid when you earn income out of your property. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a confusion between rent tax and ground rent. Ground rent is the one which is collected by the local governments wherever the building is, or your property is, or property tax. So we are only responsible for collecting rental tax, not property tax, as probably some people think. Property tax is a levy which is collected by the local government. Going forward, I think it is important to know that in this year there were amendments which were made and the law related to collection of rental tax, whereby we are now able to recognize if you've borrowed the money, now able to recognize the interest you pay as a cost, an allowable expense, before you can compute your rental income tax before it is computed. That is, I think, is now allowable for individual property owners, which I think is an improvement. Going forward, I think we just would like to appeal to more people who have the rental properties to make sure you actually register. Remember, there is a threshold of 2,820,000 below which you are not able to pay. You can only pay after that threshold has been given, and of course a 20% allowable expense. Then you can pay the 20% of the balance of the income you've actually earned from your property. So we believe that we need to ask more landowners or property owners to actually register and make sure that this rental income can actually grow and improve on our sustainability in terms of public financing.
Lastly, what do you think about SMART? The move is likely to impact on an economy where housing remains a challenge. The real estate sector is bleeding over global inflationary pressures. Key players in the industry want the tax revisited with wider consultations to address the views of most stakeholders. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics Housing and Population Census Report 2014 showed that 71% of Kampala city dwellers renting their accommodations are tenants. A similar report on the real estate sector alone shows a slump down in the sector growth. But what is the challenge of paying the tax? Could it be an unfair tax or a culture of resistance to tax payments?
Sengo mupangisa ndaba ngo omusolo guno gavumenti gwetaddewo tesose kukirowoozaako naye gugenda kusigala siru nga gukosafa abapangisa olw'ensonga nti landiroodi olwaleero bwe mbanga mbadde muwe emitwalo 15 mu nnyumba ye ne bajja bamugerekera omusolo nga luli abadde taguwa kitegeeza nti ajja kwongera ssente ku mayumba asobole okuba nga akavalinga omusolo ate asigale ng'akyafuna ssente nga z'abadde afuna mu mayumba ge nga ye bwe yakiteekateeka. So nze ndaba nga omusolo guno gavumenti gwereeta first gugenda kubeera nga gukosa nnyo ffe abapangisa.
Uganda Revenue Authority expects to collect at least 120 billion shillings in 2018-2019, 137 billion in 2019-2020, and about 160 billion in 2020-2021 financial years. Landlords want the tax suspended to allow wider consultations, a prayer the taxman believes is likely to derail tax collection and could affect his efforts to lay wide the net for a broader tax base.
Now, workers are demanding that government should implement the minimum wage law so that they too can benefit from government programs. Our reporters Rachel and Wilson have details to this story.
Workers through the Organization of Workers Union have demanded Cabinet to implement the minimum wage law as soon as possible, since it is the only way they can benefit from government. In an exclusive interview with smart24tv, Asha Wilson Oweri, the chairman Workers Union, said they are waiting for Cabinet to have this resolved once and for all.
Now I strongly demand from the Cabinet that let Cabinet release minimum wage as soon as possible so that we forget about issue of minimum wage.
According to Oweri, failure to pass the minimum wage as soon as possible, they will ask Parliament to take it over through the private members' bill.
In case they are not releasing the minimum wage, I ask Parliament to do so.
Owere called for the operationalization of the employment policy to the foreign investors to cap down the unemployment of local Ugandans in foreign companies in the country.
The good news is that we have employment policy, which is in place, which we need to implement to the latter. And that employment policy directs them to employ the local people.
He also called upon the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to endeavour that the contracts with foreign investors to do business in the country include employment of Ugandans.
I think we also need to be strict, especially Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, where we need to see that the labour administration in the country stands tall on these issues of recruitment of Ugandans. And also immigration, they also have to be very, very careful, especially when contracts are being given.
For Smart24, Rachel Namianja.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for that I beg your pardon. Thank you so much, Rachel, for that report. Now let's go for a short break and we'll be back with more stories. Welcome back from that break. Now, scarcity of cattle has hit city abattoirs, and they attribute this shortage to the markets that were closed in June this year. Now, this was due to foot and mouth disease, but our reporters Oliver and Mulindwa have details to this story.
The traders at the city abattoir are concerned about the shortage of cattle that come from upcountry. This is attributed to the markets that were closed in June this year due to the foot and mouth disease. According to Wilberforce Mutesasira, the spokesperson of City Abattoir Traders Association, about 30 markets are still closed, which has reduced on the quality of animals that are to be slaughtered during this festive season.
Naffe tetwagala bantu baffe kubaliisa ennyama endwadde. Twagala nnyo bamale okulaba nga bajjanjaba ebisolo ebyo ate birooke bikkirizibwe bijje tubiwe abantu basobole okubirya. Wabula kye tusaba abo bekikwatako ti abantu abo waliwo ebisolo ebitundu bingi bamaze okubijjanjaba. Bwe balabanga ebisolo ebyo bimaze ottereera nga wabula bakyalindamuko bulinzi tubeegayiridde abantu abo babawe ebitikkuliro. Waliwo abantu abalina ebisolo byabwe nga si birwadde naddala ente ziri mu mafaamu. Tubeegayiridde babawe ebipakiriro nabo kubanga nabo luli lwe lusuku lwabwe. Ente ezo ze balina okuggyako kye banaalabiriza.
As a result, the traders have hiked the prices, which range from 9,000 shillings to 12,000 shillings, that has led to the low turn-up of customers. However, Mutesasira has appealed to fellow traders to desist from increasing the price amidst the challenging situation, and went ahead to assure customers not to be scared of the quality since their animals are verified by the authorities.
Tusaba abali ebweru bonna ti wano waggule era ne ku lunaku olwo tugenda kubaweereza mu nnaku zino enkulu, tugenda kubaweereza abo betusuubuza ekintu ekyawamu ate n'aba abalejjalejja abakiremu oba ebbiri, kubanga ffe bwe tubeera n'olusuku lwaffe toyinza kutugamba nti amatooke gonna tujja gatema tugemaleko tutunde maki matunda.
Butchers at City Abattoir have decried of a low turn-up of customers. However, with a few days left to Christmas season, they expect the number to increase and the prices to range between 9,000 to 12,000. Reporting for Smart TV, I am Oliver Nyamwiza.
Thank you so much, Oliver. Now we have these and more updates on our social media platforms. On Twitter, we are at S24TV. On Facebook, we are at smart24tv. We wish you a Merry Christmas, a prosperous New Year, and happy holidays.